The CCP employs various methods of persecution that create a climate of fear among those targeted, so they are termed methods of persecution. So how they impact the emotion and mental state of persecuted individuals? The first method is surveillance and monitoring. The CCP extensively uses surveillance to monitor perceived distance, like camera, phone taps, and online monitoring are commonplace. So this pervasive surveillance makes individuals constantly aware that their actions, even in private, are being watched. So this lack of privacy instills a continuous sense of vulnerability and paranoia as people feel they can never truly be themselves or speaking freely without risking reprisal. The second method is arbitrary detention, the practice of detaining any individuals without clear charges or fair trial is a powerful tool of the CCP. So this unpredictability in the legal process creates a perpetual state of uncertainty and fear among the citizens who they could be detained at any moment for any reason. So this fear of being suddenly ripped from one's daily life without recourse or clarity compounds a feeling of helplessness and anxiety. And the third method is propaganda and misinformation. So Chinese government controls media and the flow of information, often use propaganda to demonize and discredit dissidents. So this manipulation of public perception can isolate individuals from their communities and even their families, as they are painted as the enemies of the state. So this resulting of social isolation and public stigma can lead to intensive feelings of loneliness and despair. And the fourth method is restriction of movement. The imposing travel bans and restricting movement with the country or abroad. The CCP limits individuals' freedom and their ability to seek asylum or alternative perspective. This confinement not only curtails personal and professional opportunities, but also creates a claustrophobic feeling of being trapped, enhance the fear and frustrating. And the fifth method is harassment and intimidation. So regular harassment by the Chinese authority, including frequently questions, home visits, or even threats, that serves to remind this individual of Chinese government's power over their lives. This ongoing intimidation brings a constant state of stress and fear as people are unsure when or how they will be targeted next time. And the sixth method is employment discrimination, blacklisting from job opportunities, or suddenly dismissal from positions without just cause is another kind of method of persecution. This economic pressure can lead to financial instability, threaten an individual's ability to provide themselves or their families. The stress of economic insecurity and the fear of poverty are profoundly destabilizing. And the seventh method is physical abuse and torture. The CCP used threats of physical violence, which is the most direct method of instilling fear, like torture, beating, or any other form of physical abuses, not only cause immediate pain and suffering, but also leave a long-lasting psychological scar. The fear of physical pain is such powerful deterrent that can silence dissidents and compliance. And the eighth method is censorship and silencing. So just through censorship, the CCP controls what can be said in public and online. The fear of saying something that could be construed as the critic of the Chinese government, which leads to self-censorship, where the individuals are afraid to express their thought openly. So this stifling of self-expression creates a sense of suffocation and mental confinement. And the ninth method is social credit system. So these systems score citizens based on their behavior and compliance with the government's policies, where low scores can result in restricted access to any services and social ostracization. This anxiety over maintaining a good scores reinforce conformity and fear deviating from prescriptive behaviors, as these consequences affect nearly every aspect of daily life. And the tenth method is family and social pressure. The CCP often targets family members of activists or dissidents, putting pressure on individuals to conform to avoid repercussions for their loved one. So this tactic not only generates immense guilt, but also emotional strength and weaponize an individual's love and loyalty against them, which creating a deep internal conflict and fear. The 11th method is legal system manipulation. The CCP often manipulates the legal system to punish dissidents by fabricating charges, denying fair legal representation, or conducting sham trial. This state undermines the rule of law and instills a deep distrust in any form of legal resources. So this manipulation led to a sense of hopelessness among the persecuted, as we realize that there's no even the judiciary can offer refuge or an impartial judgment. So this fear of being unjustly punished through the biased legal system discouraged us in any form of dissent or protest. And the 12th method is coerced confessions. So the Chinese authorities frequently coerce confessions from detainees through psychological pressure, threats, or physical abuse, and then the broadcasting this confession as warnings to others not only humiliates the individuals publicly, but also serves as a stark reminder of Chinese government's control over personal destinies. So this fear of being forced to publicly betray one's own values and falsely admit guilt can be mental crippling, which leading to the feeling of despair and self-loathing. And the 13th method is use of forced labor. So the forced labor is used as a form of punishment for political dissidents or ethnic minorities. So the threat of being sent to a labor camp where the conditions are harsh and abusive instills a deep fear of stepping out of the line, the possibility of enduring physical hardship, and the stripping away of personal freedom through forced labor is a powerful deterrent against dissident. And the 14th method is enforced disappearances. The tactic of enforced disappearances, where the individuals are taken without any legal process or explanation, is particularly terrifying. This uncertainty about the fate of disappeared instills a profound fear not only in the victims but also in their communities. This ambiguity surrounds their whereabouts, and the well-being leaves the families and friends in a constant state of anxiety and despair. Their fearing about any of them could be next without any warning. And the 15th method is restricting access to healthcare. The CCP has restricted the access to necessary healthcare for dissidents and their family. So the leverage of healthcare is not only jeopardizes physical health, but also adds a profounder layer of fear and hopelessness, as the individuals realize their and their family's well-being are contingent upon the obedience. And the 16th method is public shaming and humiliation. So the public shaming is a tactic used to not only punish but also serve as an example to deter others. So by humiliating individuals in public, either through state media or public criticism sanction, the CCP instills a fear of facing similar disgrace. So this fear of public humiliation can be deeply ingrained, deterring individuals from engaging in any activity that might draw attention to themselves.